YouTube, it's Fee, and I'm trying to catch up on some things this week that I missed in the past. I'm going to do 3 more. I'm going to do 20, 22, 20, 21, and 22. And I'm going to start with the best question, and that's number 1 on TTW 20 was, what have you been loving all week? And I have been loving this guy all week. This is Squirtle, and May 5th was his birthday. So he's been getting all kinds of love from me this week. Isn't he handsome? Okay, I'm going to let him go. And actually the other thing I've been loving this week that is non-cat related is these Stila eye pencils. I think I had them in the haul that was last week's TTW, maybe. And I don't know if you can tell, but I've got one of them on right now. See, it's in my waterline. And this stuff stays on amazing. I'm not a big fan of pencil eyeliners. Typically I like liquids or like crayons, and that's what these are. These are the Stila smudge sticks. And I think they're great. So that's what I've been loving this week. Number 2 on TTW 20 was, what is your signature scent? I've got like 3. And one of them is Lady Gaga's Fame. I only have that in a rollerball. And the other one is Carolina Herrera 212. And the third one I actually ran out of, so I can't show it to you, but it's made by Aquilina, I believe, and it's pink sugar. It's a cylindrical tube, and it has like a pink ribbon around it. It smells sweet, but not too sweet. And whenever I wear that one, I constantly get people asking me what it is that I'm wearing. So that one's probably my signature scent more than the other 2, but I really love those other 2 also. Okay, number 3 was, do you have any tattoos? I do. I have tribal tattoos. One is around my ankle, and it's 2 tribal hearts that form into a vine, and it's like a cuff. It doesn't go all the way around my ankle. And my husband's name and my marriage date is in that tattoo. And the other one I have is on my back shoulder, so it'd be kind of hard to show. But that one's also tribal. Those are the ones that I tend to go towards. I don't really like the colored tattoos. I like the black ones. So it's a fairy. It's a tribal fairy, and her wings are really large, and they kind of frill out into the tribal looking lines, and next to it are 3 kanji symbols that mean wisdom, hope, and destiny. And those are, I put those on me because I think those are the 3 things that are most important. And that's all I have for right now. There's a couple other ones that I'd like to do, but I haven't gotten around to them yet. Alright, so TTW 21 is the next one I was going to do. And that one, as you can tell, I'm starting to finally get this year's done. TTW 21 had a little bit of Christmas going on in it, and it wanted to know what one thing was you got for Christmas that you're loving. And I got a big black train case that I keep all of my nail polish in for my husband, and I'm loving that thing, because I had no place to put all of them before. Number 2 was, what shows are you watching that are new? We watch a lot of series, but I think the only new one that we added was The Following. And since I'm doing this in May, that means that these shows, or any show I could be mentioning, is coming to a seasonal close, and it did just come to a close, I think last week, week before. That show, I don't know, it caught my attention and my husband's attention pretty quickly. We did end up watching the whole thing through, but after a while it got kind of tiresome. We were under the impression that each season would be different, about a different person. Hard to explain that if you've never watched The Following. But as it turned out, it really wasn't. And not quite sure if I'm going to watch that one next year. I may give it one more episode just to see if they clear up all of the questions from this year, and if maybe they're doing that just to get people to watch. But if that's not the case, then I'm probably going to cut that one off, because I'm not one for shows like, oh, I'm trying to think of what one of them was that it's just like an ongoing thing that never has a conclusion. I'm not for those kind of shows. If you're going to make me wait an entire season for a conclusion, that's fine, but at least give me that conclusion, move on. Alright, and then number 3 was, what are your winter comfort foods? And I'm going to have to go with cocoa and my grandmother's recipe for beef stew. And it's in a crock pot, so it's slow cooked and it's yummy. I try to make that one a couple times a year. I actually made that one recently, and it wasn't winter still. We just had a taste for beef stew. Okay, and then the last one is TTW 22. That's the anniversary edition, and number 1 is, where did you meet your spouse? I met my spouse at a gaming entertainment place called GameWorks. Pretty much it's like an adult arcade with a bar and all that kind of stuff, and he used to work there. He was a technician, and I went there one night with a friend, and I ran into him, and that was pretty much that. Number 2 was, how long have we been together and how long have we been married? In my past episodes, not my past episodes, but I think in one of the past episodes of TTW, I explained we kind of have a fairy tale story. We didn't know each other for very long before we got married. So that being said, we were married on September 15th of 2001. That would be only a couple days after the 9/11, and that made things quite interesting for a wedding, but that's all right. We got through it. And we met in February of that same year. So we've been together for 12 years and a couple of months. And in September, this September, we'll be married for 12 years. So we're at about 11 and a half now. And number 3 was, where did you go on your first date? First we went to the movies, and I think I'm remembering the movie Traffic. It wasn't newly out. I think it was, I don't know, a specialty showing or something. But I really couldn't tell you what that movie was about, because we weren't exactly watching the movie screen. And then after that we went to a club to dance, and we ended up dancing to a song that ended up being our first dance at our wedding. So that's all I've got for you guys today. And I think that actually puts me at finishing all the TTWs from 2013. If it doesn't, then there might only be 1 or 2 left, but I'm getting close. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.